The Hobbit, The Desolation of Smaug is the second film in Peter Jackson's trilogy adaptation of J.R.R. Tolkien's The Hobbit. It continues the journey of Bilbo Baggins and the company of dwarves as they attempt to reclaim their homeland, Erebor, from the fearsome dragon, Smaug. The journey continues. The film picks up shortly after the events of an unexpected journey, with Bilbo Baggins, played by Martin Freeman, traveling with the company of 13 dwarves, led by Thorin Oakenshield, played by Richard Armitage, and Gandalf the Grey, played by Ian McKellen. Their goal is to reach the Lonely Mountain and reclaim Erebor, the dwarves' lost kingdom, which is guarded by the dragon Smaug. The company is being pursued by a group of vicious orcs, led by Azog the Defiler, who serves as the primary antagonist hunting Thorin. The shapeshifter Bjorn. To evade the orcs, Gandalf leads the company to the home of Bjorn, a skin changer who can transform into a giant bear. Bjorn provides the dwarves with protection and shelter, as well as horses for the next leg of their journey, Mirkwood Forest and the giant spiders. The group enters Mirkwood Forest, a dark and dangerous forest. Before entering, Gandalf leaves the company to investigate a growing evil. Without Gandalf's guidance, the company quickly loses their way in the forest and is attacked by giant spiders. Using Sting, his sword, and the One Ring, Bilbo manages to free himself and the dwarves from the spiders' webs, showcasing his growing courage and resourcefulness. During this battle, Bilbo is also affected by the corrupting power of the One Ring, which he uses to become invisible and defeat the spiders. Captured by the elves. After escaping the spiders, the company is captured by the Wood Elves led by Thranduil, played by Lee Pace, the Elven King. They are imprisoned in the elves' kingdom, but Bilbo, using the ring's invisibility, sneaks around and devises a plan to help them escape. He leads the dwarves through an underground river, hiding them in empty barrels. This results in an exciting and fast-paced sequence where the company is pursued by orcs and elves as they travel down the river. Laketown and Bard the Bowman. The dwarves eventually reach Laketown, also known as Esgaroth, a human settlement near the Lonely Mountain. They are helped by Bard the Bowman, played by Luke Evans, a humble but brave man who smuggles the company into the town. Bard is revealed to be a descendant of the men who once ruled Dale, a town destroyed by Smaug. Bard is wary of the dwarves, fearing that their quest will wake the sleeping dragon and bring destruction upon Laketown. Despite Bard's warnings, Thorin and his company prepare to leave for Erebor, with Thorin becoming increasingly obsessed with reclaiming his homeland. The Lonely Mountain and Smaug. The company finally reaches the Lonely Mountain, and Bilbo is sent inside the mountain alone to find the Arkenstone, a gem of great significance to the dwarves. Inside the mountain, Bilbo encounters the legendary dragon Smaug, voiced by Benedict Cumberbatch. Smaug is a massive fire-breathing dragon who has been guarding the treasure hoard of Erebor for decades. Bilbo, using the power of the One Ring to stay hidden, engages in a tense and thrilling conversation with Smaug. Smaug quickly realizes that the dwarves are trying to reclaim their treasure, and he grows furious. Bilbo is unable to find the Arkenstone, but he narrowly escapes Smaug's wrath as the dragon awakens and begins wreaking havoc. The dwarves versus Smaug. The dwarves, realizing that Smaug is awake, attempt to trap him inside the mountain by luring him into the forges and dousing him with molten gold. However, Smaug is far too powerful and easily escapes their traps. Enraged, Smaug decides to take his vengeance on the people of Laketown, believing they helped the dwarves in their quest. In the final moments of the film, Smaug flies out of Erebor and heads for Laketown, determined to destroy the settlement. The film ends on a cliffhanger, with Smaug approaching Laketown as the townspeople prepare for the worst. The Hobbit. The Desolation of Smaug delivers breathtaking action, stunning visuals, and a tense encounter between Bilbo and the mighty dragon Smaug. The film builds momentum as the dwarves get closer to reclaiming Erebor, and it leaves the audience on edge as Smaug sets out to unleash. The awakening of Smaug and his wrath. In the final act of The Hobbit, The Desolation of Smaug, Bilbo Baggins successfully enters Erebor, the Lonely Mountain, where he encounters the fearsome dragon Smaug. After an intense and nerve-wracking conversation with Smaug, during which Bilbo tries to keep himself hidden using the One Ring, Smaug quickly realizes that the dwarves are attempting to reclaim their homeland and treasure. The dwarves, led by Thorin Oakenshield, attempt to trap and kill Smaug by luring him into the forges and covering him with molten gold. However, Despite their efforts, Smaug easily escapes the traps. Enraged, he decides to exact his revenge, not on the dwarves, but on the innocent people of Lake Town, whom he believes aided the dwarves. Smaug's vengeance on Lake Town. In a chilling and dramatic final scene, Smaug bursts out of the mountain, his enormous body glowing with molten gold, as he flies toward Lake Town. The citizens of Lake Town, unaware of the danger coming their way, continue with their lives. But the ominous roar of the dragon signals that destruction is imminent. As Smaug soars through the sky, he declares his intent to burn Lake Town to the ground as punishment for the people helping Thorin and his company. The film ends on a cliffhanger, with Smaug approaching Lake Town and the screen cutting to black as he utters his final words, "I am fire, I am death." The fate of Lake Town and its people is left unresolved, setting the stage for the climactic events of the final film in the trilogy, The Hobbit, The Battle of the Five Armies. Closing thought. The ending of The Hobbit. The Desolation of Smaug leaves audiences on edge as Smaug heads toward Lake Town, promising devastation. Bilbo and the dwarves' efforts to defeat the dragon seem futile, and the film ends with the ominous promise of Smaug's wrath, setting up an explosive beginning for the next chapter.